we were
There
just
it is.
here a week ago.
Has it been a week already?
Feel like it has. It must be because we're both sitting here. I don't think you would come over here for no reason, I would suppose.
Not for no reason, but
I actually managed to make it. Berserker, how's it going? Good to see you. Good to see everybody here tonight. It is Thursday. It is 2:30 Pacific. It is 5:30 Eastern, at least as in the time of. Are we in daylight savings? Is that what that is? Is this what that
daylight
is?
savings,
or is it the opposite?
I think it's the opposite.
Opposite. Whatever it is right
I don't
now.
know.
Those are the
we
times.
fell back a couple months ago.
We're in the mountain time zone, so it almost doesn't really matter to us and then we're also the oddballs within that time zone that does not observe daylight savings time.
Yep.
But anyway, too much information. We're About Beverages. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith.
And yeah, we're going to talk about some things and stuff tonight. You are late, kind of. Not really. I mean, technically, the stream started at the proper time.
Channeling the inner guardian down.
Inner guardian down,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, there we go.
We've got the reverse of last week. Last week we had 2 beers and we had a whiskey. Now we've got 2 whiskeys and a beer this week. So we've kind of reversed things a little bit, and we've upped the proof quite a bit.
Oh, yes.
Thanks to not only Trader Joe's, but also Westward Whiskey once again. So very excited for all that stuff. I don't have any fun lists this week. I almost was going to look up something last week, but then it wouldn't have felt quite as organic, I guess, as I had found the other one. I guess we could talk about in the last, 2 days, like half the people in Hollywood and stuff have passed away of some sort. Like we lost.
Who did we lose now?
Bob Uecker passed away today.
I saw that. Yeah.
Lynch passed away. David Lynch, the director.
Oh, wow. She wore blue.
I have never seen that.
We actually saw that one.
We decided to be gorgeous tonight. Mitch, you're here. Do you want to see your shirt before I send it to you? We've signed it. It's ready to go. Do you want to see the shirt? Do you want Keith to hold it up? Flex a little bit. Show it to me. All right. It's ready.
Show it. Show me the money. I did not shoplift.
All right. This is one of a kind. This logo will never be done again.
I love this logo, though.
I know Keith really likes it.
It's such a great
It's going to get
idea.
harder and harder the more people decide to do this.
Such a great idea.
You'll never get one of this again. So just remember that this is the second shirt that has been given away like this.
Yeah. Unless Mitch, of course, gives us permission.
I wouldn't ask him to do that, though. No, it has to be unique. It has to be iconic.
All right.
It has to be iconic.
It is cool,
Jav got the first one. He did the very first one. And so it had just the Keith Flex on there. And then we signed that one. Like I said, Mitch also asked for the signatures. So since this is the second one, you've got to go with the with the Predator.
Or the Rocky Punch. I guess it's more it's the shake.
That's right. That's what I was thinking of. Like.
Yeah,
when got you pushing too many pencils. So there you go. Signed, ready to go. They did not have the tall, so I went with the other option that you had suggested. So anyway, I will send this off this weekend to the address that you guys have that you provided. And maybe sometime next week, because we've got to start thinking about what a third shirt is going to be. We'll get the Flex put back up on the website. But anyway, we'll get that done for you. I'm glad you like it. I think it looks really cool.
It was really cool.
I was very happy when I came up with that idea. And then also I was like, what do I do for 3? I just don't. At some point I thought of the other day, like if Lucky had ever done one of these, I was like, I could start building a body. Like I'd have Keith a really cheesy picture and then just the 2 arms like this for the 3. Like, I don't know. I just don't know if is anyone close? Yes. We actually have 2 people that are kind of getting there. So I almost need to think of a 3rd and 4th.
Oh my goodness.
Dog Boy, who's always in here, who's been a longtime subscriber, 50 or 60, like forever. He was telling me that he's like, I'm at 700,000. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then I think even Planty's like in the 500,000 range. Like, so those are kind of the next. I think maybe even Mel's like in the 500,000.
Baker's got to be up there somewhere.
Baker probably has infinite points if she decided to turn those in. But anyway. Mitch, thank you again for your support. Appreciate you. I'm back at 130,000 already. It surprised me. Didn't think I'd have that many. That is nuts. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Multiple devices on the same account.
I know. I don't think that works.
Intensifying.
Who knows?
Okay.
Mitch would find a way, I'm sure. But again, thank you, Mitch, and everybody. But Mitch, thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a friend. Appreciate all those things. And like I said, again, I'll get that shirt out to you this weekend. We will send it off. So it should be fun. Watching the only person I can stand to see play Destiny. The numbers are dwindling. The numbers are dwindling. Thankfully, that's why we have been playing other stuff. All right, with that all out of the way, should we have a beer?
That's a good place to start. Yeah, we don't want to dive right into the the high stuff.
Yeah.
Not yet. We have to acclimate ourselves.
Acclimate ourselves
With
a little bit.
6%.
Yeah, with something 6%.
Yeah.
I have 1.75 million probably. That's billion at least. All right, let's see. I've got a graphic here somewhere. Let's get this out.
Baker will start giving shirts out to everybody.
Yeah. God damn it! I don't have this many ideas.
Flex.
Yeah. I think like maybe by the 10th shirt, when the 10th one is given out, Keith actually flies to your home and hands it to you. I think is what.
And you gotta flex. And you gotta flex. And you gotta flex.
Yeah, we turn to Oprah all
That's
of a sudden.
right. All of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't know what I like I said. We'll have to talk off camera because we don't want to spoil it. Yes, 1.7 million.
Wow.
I think for Baker, if she turns in any points, we just have to make one of the cocktails that we're always doing here on stream. Go to her house.
We could go live.
Just do that. We could go live from her house.
Fine. Okay.
That would be too much work. Okay. Let's just make a drink over at her house.
I'll bring her over when I come over.
Okay.
She can hang out.
Yeah. She just.
You want to see what Baker looks like, everybody? Come on, we'll bring her over. We'd be kicking and screaming.
Yeah, to a world she didn't create.
That's right. Now she's flying over it.
Good afternoon, Crocodile. Good afternoon to you. Time for some booze. This is the winter IPA. Mitch is a winner because he's getting a shirt sent to him. But yeah, we'll have to talk off stream about what a third or fourth option. Like, I don't know if you just... Initially, I was like, I'll just start lining them up. And that's just how you know how many that, like, what number shirt you got. And then when I thought of that idea, and I was like, God damn it, I got to start thinking of other things. We love IPAs. We do love IPAs here. Hustle Crow was kind enough to send us a lot of beer, like almost an egregious amount of beer. It was very, very kind. We've been trying them over the last several weeks. I've had some of them while I've been streaming during the day. Overall, I think there's only really been one that we were not a fan of. Like we did not like the Egypt.
Yeah,
and it could have been just like I said again. It's always good to have two of something. Or have it on draft if you think you didn't like it or whatever. But like I said, it had kind of a little bit of a funk to it. And we weren't sure if that was because it was from Irish Brewing. We weren't sure if it was something from them directly, maybe the yeast they used or whatever else. But then we had two last week from Irish Brewing again, and they were good.
The Southie Light and the Irish Red were true to style and well made. So yeah,
that is a good way to put it. Yeah, true to style, well made. Like I said, maybe not necessarily ones that we would always reach out for, but it was like, oh, these are good.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was definitely a nice change. So then we knew it was okay. So it's not the brewery. It's not something in the water. It is definitely maybe something just with that beer had gotten a little funky.
This is Castle Island. This beer, if that's what you're Castle Island Brewing, and it's called Winter.
This one is called Winter IPA. The ones from last week we had they were both Irish Brewing. One of them was Southie Light. The other ones, the one we weren't into, Irish Brewing, is called the Egypt, which is a slang term for idiot.
EJIT, I think.
That's like basically a slang term for idiot. Idiot. Would be probably how you would say it. But anyway, it was not, like I said, it was just not really to our liking.
Yeah.
But the other things from them have been good. Like I said, the one was definitely, kind of better than Ballpark, like kind of pool beer, light, just kind of refreshing. And then the Irish Red was good, malty, everything else.
More than like.
Catchphrase of Bobby from Supernatural. Really, was it?
Beyond fondness.
I repeat, just one drink. Well, wow. I mean, you've got enough points to do two.
Yeah.
That's
true.
Choose wisely.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this was to what we're actually having today. Like you were just saying, this is Castle Island Brewing. They are also from the Boston area. Like I said, Hustle Crow again sent us a bunch of different things. We've got even two more from them that we have not had yet. So we still have not made it.
Hard to believe.
Okay. It is hard to believe. The other one we had from them was High Def IPA. That was a double IPA. It was very good.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That one was really good. This one is, I believe, not quite a West Coast, not quite a New England. Winter sits alone in the IPA world thanks to its supreme drinkability. So that's what they say. Simcoe, Citra, Cascade, Amarillo, and KZ, or CTZ. KZ. Year-round distribution. I don't think this normally makes it all the way out to us, I believe.
No, not that we've seen.
And that's unfortunate because that smells good.
Yeah, that does smell really good.
It's definitely some citrus, some like orange.
Yep.
Little bit, definitely the West Coast in there, a little savory in there though too. Little pine.
Got that and the fruit. Yeah, good combo.
Like yeah, that is a good aroma. Oh, okay. Taste goes a little more toward the savory, for me at least. A little thinner. Definitely not the hazy part. It's not quite as it definitely is sitting in between, which I would agree, but leaning. It's more askew. Or the other one, yeah. That brewery is 42 minutes from me. Is it one I should visit in person? Like I said, the high def IPA that we like, I don't know. Do you really drink IPAs, Mitch? I can't remember. That's all we've had from them, and that's kind of all we were sent. So if you don't like IPAs,
yeah, it's definitely more West Coast. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
More
I think
bitter?
it's leaning
Yeah.
more toward
Yeah.
West Coast.
Yeah, I would say. I drink everything.
Do you? Okay, I wasn't sure. For some reason, I thought you didn't really go for the IPAs that much. The only thing I don't like is Miller Lite type beers. Okay. So they do a couple like that too. But so far we've had the winter, which this one is good. This one's on the milder side, but this one's pretty tasty. And then the high def is the one we had the other week. And that one, or a couple weeks ago, and that one was really good. That was a double IPA, 8.5%, 8.4%, Citra, Mosaic, Idaho 7, and Warrior. And that one was really good. If 40 minutes from you, I would go out of my way.
If you're doing something else, or include it.
I would
maybe?
do that. Their limited offerings. What's this? I'm trying to see what their limited offerings might be interesting.
Blueberry
They have a
lager.
blueberry lager, which that would probably not be
Ostroturf. Oh, something Australian.
Australian hops.
Oh, okay.
They have non-beer offerings. They have some mixed berry fizz, a palm fizz, some other things. Looks like mostly IPA. Like I don't see anything else too crazy. The only reason I like going to breweries a lot of times too, depending on how far away they are, is because they may have special offerings that you can't get. It's not on the website. Like I know that's always a big thing. Like when we used to go to Stone, that's why it was always such we've got to go when we go to California. It's like we got to go Stone Brewing, not just because we liked a lot of their beers that we got, but it was like all the things that you couldn't get everywhere else.
Right.
So
What
it's
might
always
they
worth it
have?
at least going there once. It looks like they have draft menus. There's 2 locations. Yeah, there's South Boston and Norwood. I don't know if they have food or not. Beer to go, draft menu. I don't see food listed really, so I don't know. You'd probably have to maybe you could have food in. For other locations, no, it's just the 2. I don't know. Based on the 2 beers we've had, if you like IPAs, I would definitely make a trip just to see what else they had. You go there once, and if you're like, okay, they didn't really have anything else that wasn't not on their website, and you're like, okay, I don't need to go there again necessarily. Definitely, if you're out and about and looking for beers, like I said, they are in cans. You can find them.
I like this more after a couple of sips. The aroma to me is, I think, better than the taste by a little bit.
Yes, I would agree.
But
I agree
it doesn't
with that.
make the taste bad.
No.
It just makes it not as
The taste
prevalent. Is not as there as the aroma was.
The taste was more balanced and inviting between those 2 styles of having it be, like I said, a little bit of the West Coast IPA, piney bitter, and some of those kind of notes, and then having some of the tropical fruit and the orange for me, like citrus. And then in the taste, it went toward the lighter side. Not quite as malty as a West Coast. So I think kind of the malts are what's more.
Has the bitterness, though.
Has the bitterness. Yeah, I would say it has the bitterness and the savoriness. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like I said, that was, look at those other things. Blueberry lager, like I said, you might want to try that one. The other ones that we have not had yet, we could always have next week. I know you were talking about a wine for next week, not to keep
I do have
jumping in the next thing.
Yeah, no, I do have a wine I want to bring over. Who knows? Maybe I'll bring it over Saturday.
Oh, okay. But the other 2 that we have not had yet, we have the Keeper IPA and we have the Fiver. So those are the other 2.
The
that we can
Fiver.
do. And they all seem to be rated about the same on Untapped. That was why I made my decision today, because we had a couple initially we were going to do, and then when we switched it to having more of the bourbon and whiskey type stuff, all of a sudden it was like, okay, let's only do 1 beer. And then that was where I was like, okay, what has the best rating, at least for today? And they were all pretty much about the same. The high def definitely had the best. I think that was close to a 4.
But at least today, this was the winner.
Oh my God. Chicken dinner. Winner, chicken dinner.
This isn't the quiz like last week, and it's not sports, but it is music, and it's not a quiz, as I said already. My son has recently he's got the Spotify, but he's listening to a lot of Fleetwood Mac, actually.
Oh, okay.
And he's gone way back to the beginning of Fleetwood Mac.
And they had different singers?
When they had different singers, and he sent me a link to listen to their version of Black Magic Woman.
I don't know if I've heard that.
I think it's from their first album. And so, because the only version I know is by Santana.
Yeah. That's still actually also a cover, though, isn't it?
So it's a cover of Fleetwood Mac.
Oh.
My son texted me today and said, actually,
My
He
father's
said-
words were, love her as I love. Oh.
looked it up. Fleetwood Mac were the ones who wrote Black Magic Woman. I
Huh.
would not have, I have only heard Santana, so I assumed that was a Santana song. And their version's good. I like it. So,
and interestingly enough, it's featuring Carlos Santana.
Carlos Santana, yeah. Before he left Fleetwood
guitar.
Mac. Yeah.
That would be great.
They had to change their name. They were
it's like
they were Santana Mac.
It's like what is it, the Blinded by the Light, which like that one was like made so popular, like
that's
it's actually a Springsteen song.
Yep.
Like, you know.
Yeah,
that is interesting, and kind of also on the not exactly the same thing, but it's always weird. Sometimes if you listen to the bridge, sometimes they'll play studio versions of songs that you usually don't hear the studio version of. Like they'll play "Turn the Page," the studio version of Bob Seger. It's like it's weird compared to because you're just used to hearing the live version with the sax and like everything else, and the studio version is like, I know why this wasn't a hit right away. This is kind of boring. Like it just doesn't have the same, like it needs to be a live, like it is a live song. It feels like it's just one of those kind of things. That is really interesting fact.
Yeah, I did not know that. So.
Now I brought 10 facts to the table last time, so I'm assuming there's 9 more we're about to talk about.
No, I don't have any more. That's all I got. That's all I got. Although I do have,
we got 2.
Well, it's not a fact. This is just something funny we were talking about this morning. So Trader Joe's every year has a it's called the annual, I think it's called the annual leaders meeting, or it might, but it's where all the captains get together and they go to a location. Last year was San Diego. And they just cover a whole bunch of obviously topics, what's new, what's going on, the growth. And then there's also a day where they get to, they bring out a whole bunch of new stuff, the new products that are on the horizon. Oh, okay. That kind of thing.
Kind of get them excited for what they're going to promote and talk about.
Here's what's coming for the holiday, that kind of stuff. So the captain today, he was talking about that, he's like, because he was recounting this to somebody else. He's like, there's a day where you can try all this food. He's like, but there's no way you could try it all. He's like, because there's so much of it. And he's like, I guess there are like a couple of captains who have tried and done.
I would say challenge accepted.
But so we were, I can't remember, I think it was Fitz who said, or maybe I said it, but we were kind of riffing on it where we were talking about, like with wine tasting, you're tasting a lot of wines, you spit.
Right.
And we were doing that with food. You're like,
guys, food spit.
Would that be so gross?
That would be so nasty.
But I was
both of those things are equally painful when you see people do it. I get you can't with alcohol in particular. Like if you were doing a huge tasting, like you couldn't. But like,
could you just imagine that bucket would look really gross?
That would be so nasty. Even if I was the one doing it, it'd be gross. Yeah. God.
Some years it's been in San Diego. They've had it at Disneyland. They've had it in Boston. It's been in New York. It used to be pretty much exclusively in Southern California, but now they move it around because we're much more around the country. So it's either East Coast, West Coast thing. So
hearing Bob Seger without the sax was so weird the first time I heard it. It's so different. It just does not have the same, like the crowd vibe and everything just adds something. There was, thinking of crowd vibes, I had a TikTok the other day that was, and I guess this is like a thing that this person does, and he takes famous scenes that are known for like the music kind of like adds to the scene, and he removes the music, and I forget what he calls it, but anyway, he had one where it was the ending scene from Star Wars. It said Star Wars ending, but without John Williams' score. So it's the part where they're walking through the giant awards ceremony, and they come in, and there's just all the people standing there, and they go up to the front, and Princess Leia puts on, and they do that. So the music just cuts out, and it's the Simpson. The guy like adds in his own effects, so you just hear it's like footsteps, and then you hear like a bunch of people. Like the thing that got me the most was every once in a while you just hear like just coughing. I'll show you the clip. We're on a break. It was so dumb, but it was like exactly my type of humor. And when they're walking down the aisle, like at one point, like Chewbacca does his roar, and so then he just like they're walking, all of a sudden Chewbacca goes, roar! It's like just like roars to the crowd. It's like, oh god, but no one says anything. So she's getting out the metal, and you hear it like clink a couple times and putting it around his neck, and then also hear. Every time they had someone cough, I almost passed out. It was like so dumb. Oh god. There was this huge street food, barbecue, and beer thing during the spring, I think in North Park, but this sounds different. Yeah, I know North Park does do some like event kind of stuff. Was it specifically for Trader Joe's, or you just like heard that kind of thing was going on? Saw a clip of Seger yesterday from 69 trying to play keyboard with one hand because there was no mic stand. Wow.
I don't know. He played keyboard.
He's like, if I only had one more finger, I can get this done.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So one more finger.
One more
he
finger.
had 5. That's on the mic.
That's the title of the album.
One more finger.
One more finger.
I think that's a Rolling Stones album. Oh, that's Sticky Fingers.
That's one more sticky finger.
One more sticky finger.
Yeah, no, this is an actual
Mills, good to see
Trader
you,
Joe's
too.
event.
Okay.
So that usually takes place like in a hotel
Trader
or
Joe's
something like
closed
that.
ballroom kind of.
Yeah,
setting
that
or
kind of
whatever.
thing. Yep.
Huge part of the neighborhood. Yeah, I was like, I know it's either coming up or has it happened yet? Like there's a San Diego Food Week. I get, because like since I go to California usually once a year, or what it seems like now I'm on, from restaurants like doing open table or whatever. I get emails where it's like San Diego Food Week is in 2 weeks or this is happening. Like, so I still get that kind of stuff too. Or it's called. I have to look at. Yeah, I feel like it's at the end of this month. There was something because they don't have the gem show like we do. So, but yeah, no, I think that's good. I definitely like the double better, like I said, just because it had a little more flavor to it. But this is solid. Another, like I said, this is another winner, as you said, for sure.
I may go to Tap and Bottle tomorrow to see about getting a couple things for the for the celebration. I don't know if I also thought about maybe just bringing some wine. So I'm not sure. I don't know what.
I always like wine. I think we don't have enough of that.
Good.
San Diego Restaurant Week. Oh, okay. Is that what it's called? Okay. What's up, brothers? Good to see you. Iron Man. Currently recovering from procedure. I had Tuesday morning dental procedure. Oh, you were talking about that. Tooth extraction stuff left over from the cleft palate surgery I had 8 months ago. You were talking about that the other day, Iron Man, because I remember you were talking about what kind of things you could eat or something. Oh, no, actually, that was a bunch of people at dental surgery. That was Halo in chat was talking about how they were looking for soft foods and things because they had some sort of like dental work and stuff. So, well, hopefully you're doing well.
Egg.
Have lots of soups. Soft-boiled egg would be good.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I haven't had soft-boiled eggs in a long time.
So guess what's in our pantry? I found the other day.
Soft-boiled egg.
No, yeah, so I keep them.
Gross.
We talked about it last week.
Want to drink Merlot? We're drinking Merlot.
No, if anybody orders Merlot, I'm leaving.
Baker using up some points.
Any fucking Merlot.
That's right.
Okay, relax. Miles.
Just like goes through all of them.
Jesus, no Merlot.
Baker, thank you for the no Merlot. That's true, Keith. Yeah, if you do bring over wine, no Merlot, 100%.
No Merlot.
No Merlot. Oh, and anybody also actually wondering as well, yes, double.
I'm weak like any other man. I'm just a
Human being,
human.
let's go.
Right, I drink a little.
Also a good one.
Yeah, I've smoked pot.
I mean, this day and age, of course.
I've tried heroin. A few times, yeah. Yeah, and you know, class, what I'm really trying to do now is I'm really, really, really trying hard to cut down on the number of times that I try heroin. In a day.
What day you say? Bean, how's it going? It is wonderful to see you. Yes, both of those clips had to get edited out. We had like within a 5-minute time span, people did the.
Which ones was it again?
We had
the Frasier one.
Yeah, the Frasier. That was it.
Oh, okay.
That one was not Frasier. The Cheers one.
With Cheers.
Frasier, with Frasier.
Yeah, right.
That one was used twice, and I had forgotten about it because I edited the video. Like I said, I don't look at every little segment. I edit out our breaks and I do some other things on the front and the back end, but everything else I pretty much just leave. Like all of a sudden I went and I had uploaded it, I had left, and I came back, and all of a sudden I was like, this video will not be monetized because of Paramount. And it's like Paramount actually is, and that's the only one. None of these other ones will do it. Like I said, so it's silly.
Speaking of Dave Foley, the other day we came across A Bug's Life on TV. We watched a little bit. I haven't watched. Haven't seen that many times anyways, and I hadn't seen it in a long time. I forgot how many like voices are in that.
Oh, yeah.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus,
yeah.
David Hyde Pierce, obviously John Ratzenberger, Phyllis Diller.
She's the head,
mom.
like the queen or whatever, right?
Obviously Kevin Spacey, Richard Kind. There's just like it was like a ton of Bonnie Hunt.
And I remember, so now people can't make my life difficult. Good to Heal has been disabled for the rest of the podcast. So
okay.
Sorry, everybody. Broke the link when sorry, let me see what we got there. NorthParkMainStreet.com event. Taste of North Park. Oh, wow. That sounds fun. So did you just see it happening? Did you actually go, Berserker? Early bird tickets are available, $50. I liked it when we used to have the beer festivals.
I know.
Silly little things like that. I know we have so much access to great beers and Like I said, I know
those were fun.
We kind of like they still do. Doesn't Tap and Bottle almost do their own beer week now? It seems like sometimes where it's like they've
There's an
different
Arizona
things coming
beer
in.
week, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, so it's
But,
like you can
yeah,
just
no,
do that. But
that was
nice.
That was good.
There's
No, it's
something
good.
nice about going to that event, walking around,
Yep.
kind of meeting random people. Sometimes music going on. It was just a fun event.
We'd see people that hadn't seen in a while, or also just meet new people. But some of those pictures will pop up on my timeline. Through the years.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and then it's the one where we've got that face.
Yeah. And because I'm wearing my Boba Fett shirt, right? When we were there.
Yes, good times.
I was visiting a friend who works at Thorn Brewing and just sort of stumbled into it. I've not been that drunk in a long time. It was crazy. Nice. Have we ever had anything from Thorn Brewing? I feel like, I don't know.
Maybe.
I will need to
I don't know if I have.
investigate. Through the years.
Yeah. It's a
Good number
years.
of brews. Oh, okay. Let's take a quick peek here.
Well, if it's San Diego, then you think, well, as long as they distribute, then we should be able to get that kind of stuff here.
I don't recognize that logo.
No.
Raccoon on there.
Canned craft. We've
San
never
Diego's
had a
first canned craft. How do you pronounce that?
Michelada. We've never had one of those on the show.
We have not. I'm sure Trader Joe's makes one.
No, but you can make your own.
Are you kidding? Is that the one that just uses tomato juice or is used Clamato? What's the thing with
think it might
Clamato?
There's
There's something where they make that it's like a light beer and it's like clam juice. Or like tomato clam juice or something like that. I think it's people just like the salt.
Maybe that. Yeah, the tahini around the edge.
Yeah. Tepache.
Oh.
That's not what I clicked. That is 100% not what I clicked on. Unless everything just goes to the same thing. It does. Barrio Lager, Hopster Pot, New England style hazy IPA. I feel like that raccoon's going to get its tail caught in there. I feel bad. Places to sit down and drink in North Park, Mission Hills, and Barrio. Yeah, I've been at like the North Park area. I have been there before. I just don't think I've ever been to here before. Pineapple Sour, Tepache. Seems like they have a lot of Mexican-inspired beers here from what they're saying. Treading lightly. Lighter in ABV, but still, that's kind of interesting.
Gluten reduced.
Oh, okay. Sun-soaked. Yeah, it's just, you just like park somewhere and all of a sudden it's like you just stumble upon a bunch of breweries. At some point you probably would be stumbling. Okay.
It's a beer stumble. Mm-hmm. Pub crawl, beer stumble.
A couple of steps before too much, as they say.
That's right.
Yeah, I wish we had more fun lists. I feel like I've deadened the show. I didn't have any more fun lists.
No, that was good. But there's other things we can talk about.
I guess.
Yeah, like I said, Bob Euchre, read about that today.
I saw that like all of a sudden when I start seeing clips either on Twitter or TikTok or whatever else, I'm like, oh God, did someone die? It's because it's like, oh no. It's like, what happened?
But TikTok, what, after this weekend?
It sounds like it's going to be at least extended or okay for a little while.
Okay.
There, like I said, there was the whole thing about the Sunday deadline that they were literally going to go dark. But now, since the Supreme Court did not basically pass anything or say to uphold the law or whatever, and they are done writing. I forget what the technical term is. That they're done writing their, for and against for the week, like whatever. I forget what that's called. Apologies. I'm sure there's people in the comments yelling about that. But anyway. They're done with that for the week, so there's nothing else that can happen. So they're basically saying at this point, it sounds like Biden is going to do one of two things before he leaves office. He's either he can do like a 90-day, like just executive order where he's like, okay, this has to wait a little bit longer because the financial implications and this, may not even be this or that. He can push it off even longer than that. And then he can also just default to this can't be enacted because the Supreme Court hasn't ruled, which would be the shortest one possible. Like if he picked one of the other ones, there'd be a much larger time to wait. Like some have said that because that bill that just got put on the floor and they were going to vote on was going to push it out 270 days. And like to make it that like, hey, you've got to wait at least this long for us to, investigate this more. Is this really an issue of the state? Like all these kinds of, things that they want. So there's a bunch of things out there. I don't think it's actually going to go like dark on. It's still very much up in the air what's going to happen with TikTok, but they saw everyone going to Red Note, which is way worse, might reconsider. I know. That's the thing. Like everyone was jumping ship to this other app called Red Note, which is very much the same, but it's literally run and owned by China. So it was like Americans were going to an even worse, like if you were concerned about any of those things at all, you're going to a platform that is even worse for all of those things. The funniest thing I did see today on TikTok was someone was over on Red Note and they said that people were like I guess people have been like now on there because most of the stuff over there is in Chinese. So you have to learn. So you actually have to like know how to change it to English. Like this whole app is not for, like I said, like it was not originally made for a global consumption, but people over there have been like having fun interacting with Americans and like learning some English back and forth. So it's been kind of like this interesting thing. But the funny thing I saw today was someone said, someone did like some sort of post like that people should post on. And it was, as someone that is over in China, what is your like one meme joke that you use about Americans? And the number one joke that someone said that everyone liked was, your country eats like it has free healthcare. I was like, holy shit, that's funny and accurate.
Yeah,
Your
that's
country
true.
eats food like you have free healthcare. I was like, oh my god,
It's true.
I was like, that is too accurate, man.
Yeah.
They got it there. But yeah, there was like 2 or 3 other kind of apps I have seen actually right now. If people are really like, not to get too much in a rabbit hole, but there is people are actually trying to make another app that is based on more of the Blue Sky platform and what that uses for its how it gathers everything. And if they can do that, that will then not be owned by some random billionaire that just kind of puts a UI around it or whatever else. Everyone would actually own their own content. That Blue Sky is like kind of built on a platform that cannot be taken from anybody. Like I said, that's the easiest way to describe it. Because like I said, again, I don't want to go too much into a rabbit hole on that, all that stuff. But anyway, someone is currently actually working on that because Mark Cuban actually put out a thing. He's like, yeah, if someone actually work, because he's been doing a lot of stuff with Blue Sky. And he's like, yeah, if someone has Blue Sky, I'd be happy to help, like I said, either with financing or whatever else, if they're trying to put this together. And if they do that with having a shorts platform or whatever else, then it would never, this issue would never occur because it's like everyone kind of owns their own space in a way, like is the best way to put it, I guess.
All right.
It's a huge propaganda piece. There was one guy who was like, maybe it's not bad there because corn was under $1. Corn was under $1. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But yeah, like I said, I don't think it's on Sunday. I don't think it's all of a sudden going to be shut down, but it is still definitely in flux. And this is the biggest point for people that if you're a content creator, never put all of your, like I said, eggs in one basket, which is 100%. You should be posting everywhere, which is annoying and takes a lot of extra work, like I said, but that's, like I said, then when one platform decides to go away or does things that you don't like, you can be like, hey, I've got a following over here on YouTube. I'll put one last post up that says, hey, everyone go follow me on YouTube. Or, Instagram and Facebook have all their own, like I know so many people now that are just literally leaving those platforms as well. Like I said, in between Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. So they could have made a big move into the market, but they decided to shoot themselves in the foot as well this week. So, oh man, it is a whole thing. It is definitely a whole thing. Well, probably if we're going to start having some high proof whiskey, we should probably get to it.
We should probably start that right now.
Yeah, get right on that.
Right about now.
Get right on that with drinking is
That's
what we
right.
should do.
We're gonna get right on
But
that
yeah,
with
let's
drinking.
go grab some new glasses. Take a little break. If you guys want a preview of what we're going to have, we're going to start off. I think start with this one.
Yeah, I think so.
They're both
It's
so
kind of the known.
We've got two high.
Oh
proof.
wait, though the bourbon would be heavier though, don't you think? Than
I
the
don't
single
know.
malt?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Well, this is at least sort of a known. We've had 3 different versions of this prior
Correct.
to this year. They've all been. We did last year. We did a vertical tasting.
We
of
did.
them.
That was fun.
They're
You can go in the archives of YouTube.
Similar yet different. I think I liked the first one the best. Can't remember if that's where you were too. I think it was
I
1,
think
3, 2.
I think you and I were on the exact same page.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, it was the 2021,
yeah,
the 23, and then the 22.
yeah.
Because I remember saying like, oh, I wish I had more of the 21.
Yeah.
And like I said at the time, so
Yeah.
give it a shot to see how heavy it is. You got to do all
Gonna
this
do
stuff.
it.
Too much of that, it could be a horizontal tasting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nailed it, Mills. But anyway, so we'll probably start with this one. This is the 2024 release. It just finally, literally this week, made it in
Yesterday
stores, like
we got
yesterday.
it in. First day. Yep.
Finally made it in stores, so I got my annual purchase of this. I'm sure in like about the next 3 weeks, you'll be like, got a little more left if you still want any more like that.
It could be.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how much my wife enjoys it. But
We sell a lot of it at our store. The other stores, I don't think, sell it as much as well as we do, but It's because so much of us are talking, singing the praises. People are coming back.
Yeah.
Like I said, somebody has at least bought. I know he bought 4 today. He may have bought 2 yesterday, so he may have bought a case himself. But yeah, it's and the anticipation has built because last year this came in November. Prior years it's always been arrived by December.
Yeah,
and it was supposed to get here in early December, but obviously, as you can see, it took till mid-January for it to get to us. So it's finally here.
All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit. I've got a few more things to say about this. But we'll do that when we come back. And let's go get some glasses. I was seeing on. Speaking of the comment you made as we were there, I prepared it while I bathed. I was seeing a thing about Seinfeld, because I think he was on. It's probably sometimes the clips are from different years, but he was on Rich Eisen at some point, and they were asking for different give me a story or something like that or whatever else. And it was Seinfeld, and he was talking about how the whole thing with the ball going into the golf ball going into the whale and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They didn't have that till a night before they were about to do the rehearsal. They didn't have anything about that. And then he said, I think it was Larry David, was like, well, what if the ball he's hitting went into the whale? It was one of those. And so they did that. They wrote the speech. So they were going in, they were doing either the recording or whatever, a dress rehearsal. And I guess they were talking about how Jason Alexander has some sort of almost slight photographic memory kind of thing. That was what they were talking about. Because they literally handed him that whole speech. And they're like, here, if this is what we, you say, if we need to cut away or whatever. He's like, okay, I got it. And he did it. And so he was saying, he's like, if you watch it, he's like, my reaction of being shocked is not that I'm trying to act in shock. He's like, I am shocked that George is doing this speech word for word that we just gave him 30 minutes ago.
Wow, that's crazy.
And just nailing it and the whole the Titleist and all that stuff. Guardian Down, how's it going? Good to see you.
I don't even know.
And then the Titleist, they actually had to they were waiting up until the last second because they had to apply for them to be able to say the word Titleist. Oh. And they were and it had to be that because that's just a funny golf word. It couldn't be anything else. All the other different word ping.
Is that a Callaway?
He's Titleist. He's that was what it had to be. So.
Is that a Titleist?
Mm-hmm. Is that a Titleist?
A hole in one.
So the other thing I wanted to mention about this is we've talked about every time that we have had this one. This is the 2024 version. There is still debate going on of who makes this for Trader Joe's. We've always said Buffalo Trace. That seemed to be the dominant one for quite a while. Sazerac has also been thrown around a little bit too because this bottle looks almost exactly like the Rock Hill Farms bottle, which is one of their premium ones that they do. So some people say it could be the Barton 1792. So there's a lot of kind of back and forth. Don't know 100% who does it. There's always Kirkland makes it for me. Yeah,
Kirkland for Trader Joe's.
Kirkland actually makes it for Trader Joe's. No, but actually 1792 does things for Kirkland because that's one of the Bardstown ones that we like from them.
Yep.
Funny enough. But anyway, so not exact, but it is one of those two premium things. Most people seem to assume that if it is the Sazerac, where the other ones, it's aged at least 4 years. If not a little bit more, because usually the same proof that is in those other ones is 7 to 8, and there's there's probably no way they would give him any of that. So a lot of guesswork. Trader Joe's is obviously never going to say because that's one of their things. Unless, do you have some secret thing? Can you give me one wink that tells me one? And
I do not have any extra information. Okay. Right. And I like that we've probably talked about this before too, but I'd forgotten that the barrel entry.
Oh yeah,
different than cask strength, right?
Yep.
Different than high proof,
barrel
all that
proof.
Stuff. Yeah. So the barrel entry is that it goes into the barrel at a certain proof, which is 125.
Right.
And over time, there's going to be evaporation, which is going to cause things to concentrate a little bit more, and that alcohol percentage goes up. But then once they take it out of the barrel to bottle it, it's just adding water, right? They just add water to bring it back down to the proof that it originally went into the barrel, hence barrel entry proof.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
This went in at 125.
They use.
I'm
sure they're using the exact same. That's why a lot of times when people say put a couple drops of water in there, people even get picky with that because they're like, well, that's not the same limestone water that they would have used at the brewery. Again, that's a silly conversation in my opinion, but that's exactly what they're doing. They're using the same water that they used for the malting process for everything else. They're just throwing a little bit of that back in there to bring it back to that proof.
Right.
Again, maybe for different, it could be for flavor reasons, could be for, hey, we get 3 more bottles out of it. All those things play into it. So,
yep. Because if you are near a Trader Joe's that sells spirits, they should be getting this or should have had this because California had this last year, at the end of last year. But there's different laws where things have to sit in a warehouse for a certain amount of days, and then they have to get released. There's all this stuff. So it took this long to get to us. But I mean, this is a it's not 30 for me, but it's a $30 bottle of
Right.
high proof bourbon.
High proof bourbon from a very reputable distiller.
That we don't know exactly who it is.
Yeah, but either one of those
we're
is,
in the
is
area.
very solid. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like I said, I don't know who does some of the other things for Trader Joe's that we've had have been like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
This is definitely one of the ones that not only myself, but our friend group and, like I said, also customers in general have been asking about it for months.
Yeah.
Like,
Asking for months.
no joke. So this is definitely one I recommend if you like higher proof bourbons, not even having tasted this yet. I think it's worth at least giving it a shot.
Yeah.
Especially at that price. Because at the very least, you can probably make a really good Manhattan or an old fashioned or something out of this for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, even if you don't like the higher proof stuff. Lady, how's it going? Cheers to
Cheers
you.
to you.
Wonderful to see you. Cheers to you as well. And I don't think I wound up putting a link because it's just Trader Joe's. Like I said, they don't have it on their website. They have their
No.
regular bourbon on the website, which, how does that sell?
Great. We sell a ton of. In fact, we went through our allotment for last year.
Do you have any idea who does that?
Well, that was that was also supposedly 1792, I thought, or also that same sort of thing. And, I guess this had never happened before, where we, I guess as a company, sold through our allotment for the year.
Wow.
And so, it was, I think, in November, it was November, December of the, all of a sudden I couldn't order anymore. And that was the reason given. And I'd never seen, it'll be returning in 2025. We sold through everything
that's kind of cool.
All of our allotment. Yeah.
I guess.
And for a $15 bottle of, which, to us, it's, in fact, I still have the bottle I bought 5 years ago.
We reviewed it, right?
Yeah, we did. It was 2 1 note for us. It was very,
that's what it was.
Good for mixed drink, very cinnamon, a lot of the spice, not a lot of the
not
sweeter
eggnog
part.
cinnamon, though.
No, not eggnog cinnamon. So,
Keith, do you run a Trader Joe's?
I do not run a Trader Joe's. No, but I've worked for one for almost 20 years now, or a couple of them for almost 20 years. So
You're probably coming up on at the place that you're at, like a large amount of time, because that's been the most you've worked is at that same place.
At that,
different stints,
so
but
the current stint, almost 14 years back at this.
Okay,
one.
I was going to say it's got to be getting close to 15.
Yeah, 2011. I went in January of 2011. I went back to the store that I'm at. So, and that's the one I started at as well. So,
Andrew's beard is still looking killer. Happy
I
it
know,
still lives.
I agree.
I guess.
I agree. If I had that much dark hair coming out of my face still, I'd grow it out.
That's what they all say. It's doing well. It's not doing too bad. I had you guys get the best of it because today was then when we're going to do the podcast. This is maintenance day. So this was shaving and cleaning everything up, keeping it clean. Yeah. It's getting to that point though, where I don't know if I have to start investing in other apparatus and peripherals and things like that to keep
It's
it.
a good idea to have
trimmed.
one of those anyways.
Yeah.
But
Like I said, I've just been still just shaving in the spots where I can. And then everywhere else, I just lotion and then I wait 5 minutes and then I go back and see if there's anything going crazy. And then I just trim all that myself.
Yep.
I think you need some of the Amberios.
Berrios.
Amberios.
I don't know what that is.
No, I've been talking about, I need some beard oil at some point probably though.
Oh, okay.
Guardian down.
Is that what they look like?
That's not it.
I walks into a bar. You finish it.
Guardian down. Can't believe that this person actually has a username on Twitch. It looks like porcupine pubes. That's solid. Guardian down. Thank you for the gifted sub too. It looks like porcupine
Have any
pubes.
of those people ever resubscribed?
No.
Okay.
There's only one, but it's because Guardian Down keeps resubscribing.
Oh,
We
okay.
have that.
All right.
Yeah, we have that. We have
Okay.
a Destiny reference that keeps
Okay.
getting resubscribes for a while. Black Sails beard oil. I told you. Oh yeah. Really we looked it up. That ingredient. It was whale spray. Oh, that I do remember that. So since then, there's been another conversation on stream where because Cope was in here and he was throwing out. He's like, well, this is what I would use for beard oil, and I think Mills was even meant. So turned into a whole thing. So I've been saving different things
good.
here. Utility balm. Because you don't need much of the oil from what I understand.
No.
And I lotion, so I make sure everything gets in there.
Oh, ambergris. Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ambergris. I don't know why I muted that.
I've got to smell this. This has been delayed gratification.
I've been wanting it to sit for a little bit, so that's why I've kind of been talking. Because, like I said, we talk too often about as we're doing. We're like, we should probably let this sit for. Like, I almost opened up the one I had, the other Westward one.
Oh, that
I did, but then since we couldn't open this one, I was like, well, I don't want that. Not that we're directly comparing these at all because they're different, but it's like the proof is the same.
Yeah, but that's what we're.
Thank you for spelling it correctly. There you go. Yeah, exactly. I want this whale to jizz on my face because I have facial hair. Okay, interesting.
Still got a lot of heat.
Well, you breathe through the mouth. I didn't get any of that. I get a lot of baked goods, like cookie, like almost like baking spices. Baking spices, almost a little bit of cocoa powder. No, not quite. That just might be brown. Might be like a really dark brown sugar, like molasses kind of.
Yeah, that's in there.
Molasses,
cinnamon.
Brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of other baking spices, like not quite gingerbread, but a little bit of that. Definitely heat. Just open the bottle.
Yep.
I always recommend to, like I said, if you're doing one of these, I guess we should sometime I need to get 2 bottles of something and then open one and a week later, like then have the other, we could do like a whole thing.
And then they'll both be open though.
Then they'll both be open. And hopefully as long as it's something myself and my wife likes, then we're in good spirit. Great company. I think I've tried a lot of their stuff. Just got their new utility trimmer too. It's awesome when I can't make it to my barber and need to give it a trim. Nice.
What company is that?
I'm assuming it's the one I just bookmarked, right?
Oh, Black Sails.
Yeah.
Hamburgery.
Yeah, definitely. There's baked goods. Oh, beard brand. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, definitely. If you do a really deep inhale, then you do get the alcohol kind of comes in there. If this is to be believed, where they're talking about something that's like a 4-year, is going to be a little on the hot side. It's not going to have as much of the oak to it as usual. Oh, I'm getting now I am getting a little bit of the oak though at the end. You take like kind of a good sniff there. You can get some of the wood coming through there. That's definitely multi, like that's what we always liked about this, especially for this price again. And even if it wasn't, saw articles, and again, they're from about a year ago. I saw multiple articles saying due to the scarcity, and again, I drink all of it. But due to the scarcity, people were selling this on the secondary market for up to $150.
The Trader Joe's?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
And again, it was just a couple, like there was some review things and some other articles, and people were saying, because they added that at the end of the review, like, would I pay this secondary market? And I was like, well, no, I wouldn't pay $150 for this either.
Yeah.
But yeah, at this price, like I definitely,
at
least previous years would have paid.
People doing that
would have paid for that. But yeah, no, this all gets consumed.
Consumed, gifted. Yeah.
Right. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Well, we'll find out.
Okay. A lot of oak. Actually, surprisingly, some good wood coming through. Spice on the front of the tongue.
Yeah.
Hence my eyes watering a little bit there.
Yeah, my eyes are watering too. Woo.
That's actually what it is for me. Like I said, the finish is fairly smooth.
Yeah.
Like I said, there is some heat going down, which is nice. The Kentucky hug, as they like to call it. I've heard people say that, and I like that term. Yeah, a little brown sugar in the mid palate, a little bit of those spices, the baking spices, some spice, some heat on the front of the tongue.
Yep.
Which makes me wonder if there's some rye in here as well, maybe a little bit higher rye, like kind of thing.
Oh,
that spice is going on.
Interesting.
Because of kind of the wood, sometimes that can almost be like a little like oaky, like woody to me. Sometimes a little bit with the spice. But yeah, it goes down pretty smooth. This is really good again. This is nice. I'm getting a little more of the cinnamon when I go back in for the nose again, as it sat. And any whiskey in general is going to change a little bit once you open it.
Right.
But especially on these higher proof ones, a big recommend to open it, take a sip, if you want to put a drop of water in there, you want to do whatever. I don't like the chill factor. Usually that's not my thing. Just because, like I said, that kind of mutes certain flavors where it's like you kind of want to experience everything. If you don't like it or you're just kind of not sure if it's too hot, make a cocktail with it or whatever else, but then let it sit for like a week and then try it again and see how you feel about it.
Well, the thing about this at this price, you don't mind making. I mean, the only thing that
I don't mind at all, and it's
that would
delicious too.
scare you away from it a little bit is the scarcity,
Right?
Because it's not like, oh yeah, that was great. I had, we made a whole
I can
bunch
go
of
back in and always
drinks.
go grab.
Let me just go grab another one.
I can go grab another Elijah
Yeah.
Craig or whatever else. This is like,
Yeah, you got to make sure that you have that if this is something you like, you go in and you say, okay, this is my drinking one, this is my mixed one, and something along those lines. And then this is a great price for a cocktail because you want to have good stuff in your cocktails as well.
Yeah. Yeah, which is always kind of the debate, like how much, do you spend on that? I would put more dollar into an old fashioned just because the whiskey is the star.
Yeah.
Like I would do we talked about the one last week that we had from Westward that was that stout
good.
cask. I actually had that like a couple more times this week. Like
I'm
that
not
was
surprised.
It was really good. But
Yeah.
that's one where even though that one is a little more pricey and I would not do it very often, I considered almost making an old fashioned with that just because like this is so good that would enhance it a little bit more, adding some, like I said, adding a couple different bitters. You could even add a little more chocolate bitters, or you could go like a walnut bitters. You're already getting the chocolate in there too.
Yeah.
So add a little nuttiness to it and your orange bitters and then Demerara syrup or whatever you choose to do there. I actually wanted to, since I think they ship everywhere, I actually wanted to message Cope about that bottle. It could be like, you one of these and then we can talk about it because like I said that we really liked some of the other, like I said, it reminded me a little bit some of the notes of that the dragon's, what was it, the dragon's milk or whatever it was that he sent us. That was so delicious.
I like this because it has all so much. There's like you said, there's the oak, there's the baking spice stuff, there's just a lot of it's active on many different fronts.
Mm-hmm. Many different fronts. Come and join the many different fronts. Sorry, that faded quickly.
I liked it. Many different fronts.
He's still alive.
It's a poodle.
Pete Townsend's alive.
I
isn't
think
he?
so.
Okay. Everyone's
Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey.
Flies.
I know. We were talking about. I came in on the end of a conversation, but it was talking about like 2016, how you had Prince and David Bowie and Glenn Frey all died. I think like within the first 4 months of the year. Like, God, that was 9 years ago. Going on 9 years ago. Oh my God.
The heat is off.
Yeah, actually, Glenn Frey had already passed. I think it was right around this time, actually, January.
I was going to say, I thought it was
2016.
January. Yeah.
Yeah, and David Bowie, I think too. And then April was Prince, but
yeah, finish on that. Surprisingly smooth. I think the spiciest thing for a lot of people is going to be the front of the tongue. Like every time I go back in, that keeps being very lively.
Yeah.
So that could turn maybe some people out. Like it's definitely that's going to be the biggest hurdle to overcome if you don't do a lot of high proof bourbon things.
Yeah.
If you're kind of new to whiskey in general, I definitely wouldn't start with something like this. But
and that's what I had a couple of my coworkers today ask me about this, and I'm glad that you want to take this step, and this is certainly the right price. Just remember these things. Remember that it is going to be very hot.
Yeah.
Give it some time. Take
let
a little
it sit open a little bit, pour it, let it sit, walk away from it.
All these things are very important to take into consideration. But it's still at the same time, I'm like, cool. Glad you want to make that leap.
Yeah, definitely recommend if you're in the area of a Trader Joe's, like I said, and you see this, just grab a bottle. Like I said, for that price, just grab it. Even if you're not going to try it right then, or again, if you're not like I said, at that price, it's just, I mean, for me, the flavor I get out of this is like a $60 bottle. This is like a $50 or $60 bottle.
Yeah.
Like I said, if anything above that to me, like I think it would need a little bit more, in my opinion, aging could make a difference. Like I said, if you got more to like an 8 or 9 year where you get a little more oak in there, a little more depth, maybe if they didn't do the barrel entry proof and let it not be watered down at all, maybe to get a little more mouthfeel. Like
I wonder what that actually got up to.
I do wonder that
to
too.
Know. Yeah, it got up to 130 proof, but we had to knock it back down, or something. But
there's one down the street. I'll grab. Yeah, if they have it, like I said, for this
if
price,
they sell spirits, then get in there.
I know you're not as much
later.
into this usually, right? Isn't it your lady berserker that likes the whiskeys and things? Like I said, again, great for cocktails, 100%. That is it's an easy recommendation for any cocktail. And like I said, if you like sipping things, it's also good. Doesn't look like they carry it here. Oh, sad face.
It has to be at a store that has the liquor license that carries the spirits.
I always think that's interesting that there are two different licenses for that, because there's a beer and wine, correct? And then
Right.
there's spirits, like
Yep.
it's a separate, and it's a decent amount of money.
And,
too,
and
right?
at least
It's
in
not-
Arizona, there's a finite amount of them, so they have to become available. So I would think you would think that would have to increase though with population increases in restaurants. But I don't know. Maybe
I bet
there's
that's
enough.
maybe that's how they more of them become available. Either places close down, or
right.
when
And that's what
as
happened.
population increase.
Yeah, that's what happened when stores closed down, and all of a sudden, this license becomes available. And that's how we got ours.
Yeah, because not
right
all the
before.
was there only 3 Trader Joe's that actually have?
In Tucson,
In
3 of the
Tucson?
4. Yeah,
Okay,
and the store in Campbell had theirs a few years before we did. We got ours in March, right as the things were about to get super nutty. March of 2020. So
that was a perfect time.
which is hard to believe. That was
Maybe it's 5 years
ago.
now.
And now we were talking today. I was talking with a coworker about we have these tablets that we use to write our orders on, and 2 of them are pretty much dead. They're not taking a charge, or we're trying to troubleshoot what the actual problem is. But he's like,
Get a
he's
new
like,
one.
"Keith,
Get a new one, Trader Joe's.
Well, I know,
You
and
can
so-
afford it.
And so he's like, these are probably 7 years old by now. And I said, oh, they're not that. He's like, Keith, think about it. He's like, pandemic, it was 5 years ago already. I'm like, and we had these then. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it could be.
God,
So yeah, hard to believe, but
crazy.
yeah.
I'm in the Midwest. Our liquor laws aren't quite that strict. In the Midwest, you need a little bit more to keep you warm inside there. Sherpa, how's it going? Good to see you. Mod Sherpa, always good to see you.
The body's good. It's not
The
over.
body- yeah.
It could be a little bit more, but
Again,
it's fine.
these are things I'm not going to nitpick on $30.
On a $30 bottle, yeah.
Yeah. I'm very happy with what's here. That's
Yeah.
why I, like I said, am excited about this. That's why everyone gets as excited about this as they do.
So I'm not returning
think-
any bottles then. Okay.
No.
All right. Just making
No,
sure.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I might be like, any more left around?
Yeah.
If you got any extra stock, percussive maintenance. But yeah, like I said, I think if I wanted this elevated, planned on paying more for it, those would be the 2 things I would pick on. Like I said, I would like it to be a little bit smoother on the front end of the palate. Like I said, I don't mind the spice, but just a little bit more there. And yeah, the body being a little bit more. So like I said, again, that probably more years in the barrel.
Should buy our own mini casks. Put them in there. Age it.
I saw someone comment on one of the reviews. Again, these were older reviews in the last couple of years. I saw someone comment and say that they had one of these bottles and they threw they threw their own oak stave in
okay.
there for 2 months, and they're like, that smoothed it out.
Oh,
So people were
okay.
kind of doctoring things that way.
All right.
If you nitpicked anything, Trader Joe's, you would be doing the podcast with Cardboard Keith from now on. That's true.
No, that's fine. We can nitpick Trader Joe's.
I think their eggnog that is
We've
alcohol
talked
is
about that.
absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
I am not late nor early. I arrive when my brain catches up to what time it is.
You are
Flogging
here
is
now,
at-
and that's all. Yes, it's not late nor early. It's now,
Here
and that's
now.
what is important.
I promise.
The power of now. Now is all we have. This minute. Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Back up. Well, it's true. I've
That is true, though. I don't disagree.
been doing a lot of reading lately. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a book that I almost put on my birthday list, and then I didn't because I was like, oh, people think this is cheesy. So.
Do I have that book? What is it?
No, it was kind of, it wasn't like a self-help book per se, but it was one of those kind of like power of positive thinking, kind of like it was one of those kind of things. There's another book too I almost put on there. It's called Leadership of the Bullfrog. Have you heard about that? It's like it's become like it's like a leadership book kind of thing.
Who moved my cheese? I heard about that book. Yeah.
My cheese. Get out of rehab on Saturday. It's what you were saying, Flogging, that it's great news. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, I didn't want to do breaking news
Uh-oh.
on the podcast, but the Bears have reached out so far with their net so wide. I actually am getting interviewed tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
That's how many people they're
Oh,
interviewing.
nice.
So it's really not.
I thought you were going to tell me they hired somebody.
No.
Okay.
No. I honestly, if you want my guess, it's either going to be Ben Johnson, Mike McCarthy, or maybe some
I've heard they were talking about Ben Johnson going to the Raiders. That's what Florio was saying today.
I've heard Florio say that, but then
Yeah.
I've heard everyone be like, that would be with the way he's been so careful about choosing where he's going to go, there is no way he would pick the Raiders. If he picked the Raiders, then that just proves everything else he did was a lie. And it was
Okay.
about basically for money.
All right.
They have no draft pick to get a quarterback. Their front office is terrible. They're paying he is like the worst of all the choices. I'm not saying he should go to the Bears, but he is the worst of all the choices out there. So if he goes to the Raiders, it's literally only about money. think Henry Winkler is set for his interview on Monday. I hope so. I have a team Henry Winkler. Bears need a head coach. Shocker. I know. Shocker. We need something. I'm glad that you guys have a head coach that keeps you out of the playoffs. I mean, that's always a good thing. Guardian down. It's always solid.
Well, Mike McCarthy's available now. So.
Mike McCarthy. It sounds like he's big for the Saints. They're
Oh,
saying
really?
The Saints
Okay.
are the Bears for Mike McCarthy. Ben Johnson is like the odds-on favorite for the Bears, but we'll see because we have to like wait for it. So it's like I don't know if they do some sort of handshake deal of some sort. I mean, who knows? Who knows? The Bears sometimes are such a crappy run organization. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, just some nice.
I still keep getting the baking spices again too. It's nice. There's just like a little sweet kind of cotton candy almost with that in there too.
Good stuff. All right, good. Well, I'm glad I bought a bottle for myself as well.
That you'll never drink.
Well, that's true. I have an open 22 and an open 23, and now an unopened 24.
Maybe we have to do a new the taste test.
Well, we could. I don't have a 21, but
yeah, we finished that one, didn't we? Because that was definitely, and I definitely don't have one of those. Why not go to the South with a winnable division? I mean, that's also an option, Mills, for sure. You'll just have a coach that keeps us out of the divisional game. Flogging, yeah, that's unfortunate. I saw something the other day, and I think there's other factors, obviously, that are involved. But I think it's funny that they said Mike McCarthy needs to get Mike Tomlin's publicist because they literally put up their stats, and it's practically identical. And Mike McCarthy, even myself, I'm like, oh, I don't want to touch that guy with a 10-foot pole. Like he's just this.
But he's had like 11 10-win seasons, and
he's had literally has had the exact same success, not only in the playoffs, but in the regular season as Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is like, again, and I would also take Mike Tomlin too. But like, oh, did you see that too? Yeah. It was literally, there was like one thing difference. It was either like one was like, and one more win in the postseason and vice versa, like whatever. But it was almost the exact same stats. And it was like, Mike Tomlin, no one would say that against. So like, oh, if he goes, 31 other teams line up.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy, they don't say that for. It's like, I don't know. I was watching, like I said, some behind the scenes stuff, like I said, some beat writer things, and they were talking with a longtime Green Bay Packers beat writer, and he was talking a lot about the McCarthy era. And it was interesting just hearing that side of it and some of the things where you assumed, with anything, you're like, oh, this guy made this huge mistake. It's like, well, actually, when I talked to this person, it's a different side to how things kind of went here and there. So we'll see. But none of them are Mike from Geico. That's true. None of them are. It was strangely identical. It's very identical. Mike McCarthy to Raiders, Aaron Rodgers, yada, yada.
Oh, and Devontae Adams back to the Raiders. There we go.
Devontae Adams back to the Raiders. Yeah. Who knows what's going to go on with all that. But all right. Well, we need to probably take another break. Maybe have some chips, kind of clear our palate a little bit, have a little bit of water. And then we've got another high proof spirit to have. This is also from Westward Whiskey.
So this one is Cask Strength.
This is Cask Strength.
What does that mean?
That means that how it came out of the cask is what it was put in the bottle.
Okay.
So
it may have gone in at...
This may have gone in at 120 and then left at 125.
Okay.
Whatever.
Right.
So this is what came out of the cask is what they put in the bottle.
Okay.
And then this one is based more directly on not directly, but it is their single malt. Last week we had a stout cask version. It was not cask strength because it was only like 90
stout, right?
Proof or whatever it was, something like 95
so good,
proof or whatever. But it was absolutely delicious. So this is their normal, like I said, their flagship, I should say, but at cask strength. I've heard really good reviews of this one, so we're going to try this one as well. Good. Interesting color. This is an American single malt, so this is not a bourbon.
Not a bourbon.
It is, like I said, more along the line of kind of think about it like a Scotch in a way. But they also use an ale yeast. So they kind of, I forget, they have some interesting little tagline where it's like, we, brew or malt like a beer.
Oh yeah.
We, whatever we
distill it like a blah blah.
We distill it like a Scotch, and we age it like a bourbon.
Yeah.
So this one is again 125 proof, so the exact same as what we just had. Flicking through here, cask strength accentuates our rich locally malted barley. Locally malted barley as well, Portland, Oregon. No Merlots.
Not drinking any fucking Merlot.
Keith, I swear to God, if you bring a Merlot over, we're in trouble.
I won't do that.
Jesus, no Merlot.
I promise.
Newly charred American oak barrels matured to perfection in Oregon. They say the ideal environment to raise a world-class whiskey, I think because of all the temperature changes and humidity and everything else.
Okay.
But anyway, we were Needless to say, very happy with the one last week.
Yep.
This is not going to probably have some of that nuance, I'm going to guess, but we'll give it a shot here.
We're going to find out very shortly.
We are going to try very shortly, so we will be right back. And we are back. Thank you guys all for hanging out this evening. I do appreciate it. Doing something we normally don't do very often. We're having 2 whiskeys back to back.
Back to back. High proof
things. Guardian Down, thank you for the gifted
proof.
sub to Happy Birthday, Paco. Not her birthday.
Not
if she
her
was
birthday.
Here, if she was here right now. But Guardian Down, thank you for the gifted sub to Happy Birthday, Paco. I can't believe that is actually a thing. Happy Birthday, Paco is now following. All right, who created the account?
Did you see that? It
That's
dropped down.
amazing.
It says Cheers Hulu on it. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they do that or did you do that?
I think it was just on there, maybe the clip that I got from.
Huh.
The
I've never
gift- the
noticed
gift
that.
I think it's from the gift that I made or whatever. For
I
that.
haven't noticed that though before.
That's too funny.
Huh.
I think Paco, I made Paco really mad. Mitch's chat. I did a song request for Happy Birthday Paco YouTube video. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Lucky has that as a permanent redemption in his channel as well. You really think it was anyone other than Lucky? I don't think so, Berserker. You're probably right. If you think that through to the logical conclusion, right? So anyway, this is Westward Whiskey. This is their cask strength. Unfettered, upstanding, and uncut. This whiskey reflects robust flavors built in every step of our long, deliberate process. 20 years this place has been around. Over 20 years this place has been
2004.
around. There's a SLB basement bourbon bar, I think is the podcast where I specifically saw this originally, them talking about this. And it was in their top, not only top single malts, but some of them had it in their top 10 list of bourbons and whiskeys from the year of this one. And like I said, talking about their other finishes and stuff. So I was like, all right, if they're, someone that I listen to is doing that.
Free shipping
Yep. This one
for
is,
that time at the holidays.
What will be interesting is this one does come in at a higher price point than the last one.
I saw that.
Again, very different things. We're not directly comparing, but I'm sure at the end of this will be like, well, would you rather have this or that? Of course. It just happens.
Once again, not bourbon.
No.
This is a single malt whiskey. So, I'm from the Pacific Northwest versus
Wait,
the
you want
bourbon
more than
heartland.
I'm trying to
Let's go with maybe a splash more.
Okay.
I don't have to drink it all.
Well,
you'll finish
I'm not
it.
going to have you pour it away.
No. Oh, I didn't say that. I didn't say I can dump it down the drain. I said I don't have to drink it all.
I do actually like the last bottle, the Trader Joe's one that we had too, and I think this one is also really cool too. It's just a very unique, cool, bespoke bottle, dare I say?
Bespoke?
Bespoke? I don't know. That's what people say.
Bespoken.
Or spoken. The one we had last week, again, we've talked about a little bit, was a stout cask. So it was they had aged their a regular American single malt, their flagship single malt, in those barrels. They send those barrels off to a bunch of different breweries throughout the area. Those breweries then use those to age their stout in. They wouldn't say which ones. I would love to know. That would be really cool if you could buy then a beer that had been aged also in that cask. Maybe you could track that down. But they get aged in that, and then when they're done with them, some of them up to 2 years, when they're done with those, they send them back to Westward Whiskey, and boom, these get turned into that previous cask that we had the other week, which was good. Was that one from Oregon? Yes. That one was from Portland, Oregon, as is this one. It's from the exact same place.
So this is their original single malt, just not diluted in any way, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Their Westward Whiskey Original, that one comes in right at 90 proof. This one is 125 proof. I believe there is no difference between the two besides the proofing. Obviously, we have the casks out. They have one that is also a Pinot Noir cask, which I would absolutely love to try after we tried the other one.
Yep.
I would definitely be into that. And then they've got a bunch of other ones there too. Most of them, if they can ship to you, the shipping is free. Oh, they have a rum cask one as well. They've got a bunch of different ones there. Like I said, definitely go check out their website. It is pretty freaking amazing. Like I said, what they have there, not cheap. At least this one and the other one that we tried, not cheap.
Yeah, if you tuned in last week, do you know what we paid? What Andrew paid for that one? Not we, Andrew. Don't want to. And soon you'll find out what Andrew paid for this one.
That's
but
right.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. heat coming through, not quite as strong. Like even if you take a deep hit of that, like the heat's, like I said, not coming through quite as strong as what I would expect at that proof. I am getting a little bit of the mocha note again there too with the malt, with that single malt. There's like kind of like that dark brown sugar, like a little bit of cocoa in there. Okay.
I'm getting fruit and nuts. I'm getting like raspberry and walnut. I'm getting some sort of combination. Not almond, but I'm getting like a raspberry, like this, like a raspberry jam with the seeds.
Oh wow!
Or with,
interesting.
Or like a raspberry, with.
There's a little nuttiness in there. I'm not quite getting the fruit in there.
I get the fruit.
Yeah, I had definitely.
This one's definitely easier. So, like relatively speaking, when you open the Trader Joe's bottle, when we first started sniffing, it's about the same amount of time opening that to when we actually maybe even a little bit more. But this one's already more approachable aroma wise.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, that one needed to kind of haze off a little bit. I don't think this one says how long this one has been aged. There is a video on this, which last time that provided us some information.
Yeah.
And they actually did get back to me. I forgot to tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful email back from them.
Oh sweet.
Again, hashtag not an ad for this.
Okay.
Everything has been fantastic. They got back to me like right away, like I said, the next day.
Okay.
And there was a long email about, like I said, how their process works. And they don't specify because, again, this can always be, what everyone always, it's all about like what the flavor is coming out of the barrel, which makes sense. Like you're not gonna say like we do this for 4 years no matter what. Like you wouldn't do that. So
you taste
like
it. You decide
right,
when
and
it's
that's
ready.
and that's basically what they said. Usually it's at least 3 years, but it can be 3 to 4. Could be even a little more, just depending on what comes out and the way they blend them together. They also offered, if we're ever in Portland, Oregon, we have a distillery tasting that we can go like do and tour.
Oh,
so they said they would because you can go there, but it's like a fee or whatever.
Going
like
to Portland's on the bucket list for sure.
That is on both of our bucket lists as well. So maybe we need to plan to.
We know people in
a
Oregon.
bucket list trip, and then we just go.
Yeah.
Do you know people in Oregon? Oh,
we
okay.
know a few. Some of Pocket's former coworkers. And,
okay.
Our friends that used to live in California recently actually has moved up. They'd come out here a couple of years ago.
We wanted someplace equally as expensive as California.
Well,
they said Oregon is your choice.
So they were looking for a place to like retire or move when they did retire, and they'd actually visited us. They stayed with us for a few days, and we could tell pretty early on that this wasn't going to be a place. But they wound up,
probably, or?
And they opened up a wine shop actually.
Oh no way!
So
that's cool.
So very cool. There's a lot going on in there. I do get there's fruit. Maybe I'm being a little too specific with raspberry, but I get some fruit, some nut.
The nuttiness I'm getting, like I said, for me, it's a little bit more of some of the heavier notes. Like I said, the molasses, the brown sugar.
Yep, that's there too.
And then, like I said, I am getting a little bit of nuttiness now too.
It's a bit nutty.
I don't know if I'm like getting fruit because you're saying it, or maybe it's like almost like a caramel, like kind of sweetness in there too, like almost like that kind of sugar, like a kind of a blend of several different sugars, and a little bit of the cocoa powder again. Not near as strong as the cask stout that we had. That was literally like immediately it was like that, like which was fantastic. Which nut? D's. Damn right it was.
D's nuts.
My granddaughter has a very good friend in Portland. Well, there you go.
I wonder who her granddaughter
Apparently
is.
we should move to Portland. Ooh,
that's good.
Oh, that is really good. Oh my God. Tobacco in there, like kind of leafy, like a little bit of oak. The nuttiness is that like almost like a hazelnut kind of thing.
Nuts, yeah.
Oh my God! Wow, it's really good.
God, those guys make. Jeez,
I hate to have the same reaction 2 weeks in a row. But
Yeah.
My bar was not quite as high. Like after we had the one last week, I was like, okay, that one's probably going to be like over the top flavorful, like I said, if it is going to be, and it was. This one is really good too. Works for Trader Joe's there, at least he did. Oh, okay. Wow, all these Trader Joe's connections. Little spicy on the front of the tongue again. So maybe that's just in general, like maybe a higher heat bourbons, or at least how they affect me. Because obviously I don't think they have any, I don't know what their grain bill is. I'm going to guess that they don't have any like rye spice, like rye in there at all or anything like that. So maybe it's just that natural heat just tends to hit the tip of my tongue a little bit.
Like some nice vanilla nut almost, and then I don't get the fruit in the taste.
Are you still getting it in the nose? The fruit?
I still get something that I'm at least right now attributing to fruit in the nose. Wow, it's really good.
It's really definitely the heat is there. It's kind of hitting in different spots. Initially for me it was kind of spicy. Finish was very smooth. This second sip kind of went a little bit more mid palate, almost seemed a little warm, a little more spicy, but really, really good. Fruit in the nose, that sounds like something someone could take the wrong way. I mean, if you're putting it in your nose, that might be the wrong way, but I'm not going to shame. I can't shame anybody.
There's definitely some raininess in the aroma too now. Like a nice grain, like almost oatmeal. There's just something.
Oatmeal, Christopher Columbus.
Maybe it's barley. I don't know, but
That's from Charlie Brown, right?
wow, what's that?
Was that in my head?
Oatmeal? That
No,
part's
that's
from
Frosty the Snowman.
Yes, that's
Okay.
Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, because I was like Christopher
Oatmeal?
Columbus. Yeah, because they're trying to make a name for him.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what okay.
Oatmeal.
All of a sudden, my Rolodex went like,
How
no, that's
about
not Rankin Bass. That's something else.
Frosty.
Frosty, the fastest belly whopper in the world. Cha. He's dead, right?
Jimmy Durante?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be my new game. Are they dead?
Are they dead? Dead or alive?
Dead or alive, exactly.
Spin me right round, baby.
Bon
right
Jovi?
round.
Dead or... Oh, that also could be Van Halen, too. Van Halen 2.
Had a dead or alive?
They have a song called Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive.
Really?
Off of Van Halen 2. Dead or Alive.
Still one of the great finds that when I bought you that Van Halen 1 album,
Oh.
I decided to listen to it, and I was like, I need this myself.
Did you wind up buying one?
I did.
Oh, okay. I couldn't
I've
remember.
got one. Oh, yeah. What a great
I
first
feel like
rock
that-
and roll, your first album. That's your first album. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing the whole way through is just, every song in there is
Fun.
really good.
Yeah.
It's just good, fun songs.
That's really good.
It's really delicious.
So then should we
it
talk
comes.
about the question?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
This is
So the last one we had, again,
the Trader Joe's one.
the Trader Joe's one, like I said,
Yeah.
again, it's not quite, it's not an apples to apples comparison.
No,
We
it's
just
not
had
because
two
it's
125 proof bourbon.
Yeah.
125 proof whiskeys, I should say. Sorry, not bourbon.
That's a bourbon. This is a single malt whiskey.
Right. So that one's 30.
That one's 30.
This one's 90.
Is it 90? I thought it was more.
Oh, it's 100.
Oh, it's 100.
Okay.
So 3 times as much. I think
at some point you also should take into consideration how dollars are proof dollars. The
No.
proof is 125.
Yes.
The dollars is 100.
that would be a cool thing, a cool gimmick. The proof
Dollar
is the
per
price.
proof.
Yeah.
That's
something
kinda
like
funny.
that.
I think at some point you need to factor in, as you were talking about the Trader Joe's, that with how little bourbon you drink by yourself,
Correct.
you should factor in that when you do have some, it should be the epitome of what you enjoy and
Correct.
not just like this is a good value.
Correct.
I get that when it comes to
Yeah.
wine and beers and everything else.
Yeah.
But I think for you especially, like if I was only going to have 8 pours a year, like I'm making up a number,
right.
whatever, a pour a month or whatever at most of something.
Right.
I would want that to be one of my favorite things, whatever the price
I
was.
agree.
So again, you can still say whatever you're about to say.
I
but
was going to say
that
there's
just
room
went into my head.
There's room for this in my bar. No, absolutely. No, the 2 things we have had from Westward have been, to me, outstanding.
Yeah.
Great.
I agree.
Once again, higher price, of course.
Yes.
I would not make a cocktail out of.
No.
Especially
No,
price wise and taste wise.
Both of them would be a little rude, but they would be great if you did them.
Of course, but
to me, it'd be a little bit of a waste.
yeah. Oh yeah, I think
Which
so.
one do you like better of the 2 Westward then? let's do that comparison since we didn't get to do that. Do you like?
Well, I don't want to do it today, but I'd have to have them side by side.
Oh, I see how.
But
he wants a third podcast. Next week we compare the two. Next.
I actually think I like the other one better. Recalling how much I like that. Now, maybe I just was that much more blown away. Maybe now my bar for Westward is like here, where it was like, I have no idea what it should be. So I set it here. But I just remember being really impressed by that other one. This is very good. So I can't. You had more than, I just had it on Thursday.
It's
You had it on multiple days.
Because it's basically a $10
$10 more, yeah.
If I could only have one. Man,
one Westward.
That's tough.
Westward one.
Because I definitely could see, again, having the luxury of having both of them where I'd be like, I'm more in the mood for a little bit more heat, a little bit more spice, or I want just something that is like after dinner, sweet, kind of like a little bit of like that kind of.
And you do have them both.
Thing. And I do have them both. But if I took that out of the equation and I was like, okay, here you go. You can have one, or like if I can have a second bottle of one or the other or whatever else. It's tough because I'm getting some of the notes in here that I get in that one, but that one it's just more accentuated even more with the chocolate and other things. But I'm getting some of that. I probably would pick this one, but man, it'd be a real Sophie's choice.
Okay. You can't lose.
I
wouldn't lose either one.
100%. I would not lose whichever one on that day that I picked. But yeah, it would be.
I never saw Sophie's Choice. So
I have never seen it all the way through. I've seen like a little bit, and obviously we know the reference.
Right. The movie.
You're like,
title.
You're like, no.
Meryl Streep, of course.
Yeah. Meryl Streep. Yeah,
of course.
I would like to watch it. That's kind of on my list of like, here's some like cultural touchstones where it's like I know the reference, but I have not like either fully seen the movie or seen it in a long time. I actually thought of the other day because I've been playing this game on stream. It's called The Plucky Squire.
The Plucky Squire.
It is. It's like it's got like British narration here and there. Yeah. It's a puzzle game. It's got like, kind of dry British humor, a little puzzle game. It's just delightful art style. Like it's just joy. It brings me joy just like running in this world, figuring things out. When you figure out a puzzle, even if it's not super difficult, the way you kind of figure it out, it just like makes you feel like you're really smart. And in doing so and talking about this with chat, when people come in, they're like, oh, what's this game? And you kind of have to keep re-explaining like, oh, it's this. And it's got a storybook look to it where it's like 2D and like you're literally in a book and you're running through this child's book doing stuff. But then this wizard pushes you out. So every once in a while you go into the 3D world and then it's like almost like you're in Andy's room kind of looking place. So you're doing stuff, but then you have to hop back into the story. It's really cool. Like I said, the VODs are like it'd be a game like I think, like I said, Pocket would just look at it and go like, oh my God. Like, I think it's like, it's that kind of game. But anyway, it's been really fun. And several times when I figured out puzzles, I wished I'd have had the drop of from The Godfather Part 2 of I'm smart. Like I wanted that so many times. I said it on stream. I was like, man, I wish I had the drop for this of him just saying that. I'm smart. Yeah, just like his exasperation with that. And, oof. That's tough.
Nice like brown sugar spice. Vanilla in the aroma.
Yeah, and then
again.
there's, like I said, again, there's a little bit of the cocoa in there too.
Yeah.
Again, not as accentuated as much as that stout cask one. But
these guys know what they're doing.
They do.
Guys and gals.
At some point,
when
we threw a few pennies together, you wouldn't be upset if we tried the Pinot Noir one then?
Yeah, maybe we should get that. Maybe that's our beer appreciation podcast.
Should we just do? We already know it's like we should just get that one.
We're just going to we could just get two. It's free shipping.
Well, this is what made me think of it. Because they have, that one's ridiculous. So they do a milestone edition, a Discovery of Spice, $250. A big one that's sold out.
A Discovery of Spice.
But they have a sherry cask one. They have, I don't even know what that is. Aquavit.
Aquavit. That's a type of spirit. Yeah.
Okay. Oregon Zoo Foundation. The rum cask one. I'm sure that they have ones
Bottle and Bond, a Whiskey Club exclusive. Or the Whiskey
Willamette
Club
collection. What is this?
Oh, Willamette.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I know where that is. Original whiskey and the same whiskey influenced by that's cool. So it's the original, and then this one gets an additional 2 years in oak wine cask. Oh, that's kind of neat. That'd be neat. You do a side by side of like there's that one and the Pinot Noir one.
Isn't that the Pinot Noir one?
That is the Pinot. Yeah, that's what I'm
Oh.
saying. You do the Pinot Noir one, and
Oh,
then
okay.
this is their original flagship one. So you could see where it started, and then they said, and then here's the one with 2 more years in a Pinot Noir cask.
Oh man, that is really good.
Bottled and bound one for the bottled and bond one. I saw that one on there.
Yeah, you have to be in the whiskey club.
Oh, did that one you have to be in the whiskey club?
Whiskey club exclusive.
Oh, it does. Yeah, that one's $100. I don't know.
What happens? What do we need to do to join the whiskey club? Are you a member?
For age at least 4 years in one bonded facilities. I don't know if I don't know if that would be worth the extra stress and money over
To
their
join
other one.
yeah.
For that one in particular. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff. A lot of whiskey club exclusive things. Yeah, I don't know what you have to do. We could look at that. Who knows? Definitely a Merlot. No, my God, no Merlot. Never the Merlot.
Yeah, that's really good. That's very good. That's really very
Okay.
good. Yeah, another one. Another.
So we're just gonna start looking at that for our
Yeah.
thank you beverage for next
We're just
year.
gonna our trip out is just gonna be coming over here and looking on the internet. For what can we buy?
That might be our next thing. That would be funny. Actually, that would be fun if you guys really want to support the channel. Obviously, watching on YouTube, all that kind of stuff. Most of them are around anywhere from their original single malt is around 65. Anything over that is in like either the cask strength or the
stout
if you can
casks.
get it the stout cask or the Pinot Noir. Any of those, they're around $90 to $100 depending on what you get.
The one we just drank was 100.
What we just drank was $100.
Yep.
Shipping is included in there, like which I think is not nothing.
But not always, though, right? Or-
I feel.
I thought you said it was a special
I don't-
holiday thing.
You know what? Let's pretend like we're adding that to our cart. Shipping included on all orders,
Okay.
so that is just part of it. So that including shipping is actually really good because usually it's especially for bourbon, for like whiskey, spirits, anything. It's usually at least $15 to us for shipping when we get stuff from either Frey Ranch or wherever else. If they're not doing a sale, Frey Ranch is another one, obviously, that we love dearly, like I said. But yeah, those are usually what they wind up being. Whoa!
We happy?
All right,
Vincent!
calm down.
Yeah, we happy.
I don't know what that means.
Berserker just gifted 10,000 bits.
Okay. It's a lot of bits, it seems like.
That's $100.
Oh my gosh.
So you're saying we should order one of these? Are you saying we should order the Pinot Noir one right now? What are
Holy
you doing,
moly.
Berserker?
Oh
my
my
God.
God.
Oh my God.
Wow. That's wow.
Keeping the lights on. 126 Oh my gosh.
That is
Wow.
dang.
That is extremely generous.
Wow, that's way too generous. But
and that's discounted.
wow.
Yeah,
Oh my
because you
God,
have to pay
thank-
extra
wow.
for the bits because it's guaranteed. That is very generous.
Wow.
And if that is going toward one of those, I will order that right now. If that is what you're saying, we will
Holy moly.
do that immediately off stream. We will order that to try.
Okay.
That
Wow.
is crazy, Berserker. Thank you so much.
I know I'm very humbled by that. I don't even know what to say.
I don't
wow.
either.
That's wow.
No, you have told me what to do. I am fine with that. If you if you're gonna throw bits my way and say want to do that,
Oh yeah.
no, that is that is done. That has
That's
been added
still
to a
your
cart.
money. So yeah.
We will make that happen. That is insane, Berserker. Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you very,
appreciate that.
very,
That is
very
very
much.
very kind.
Wow.
Yeah, that will happen 100%. Cardboard Keith would not know what to say. Yeah, I would say so.
I don't even normal Keith doesn't know what to say.
If we were in Oregon, we could just go pick it up, but we will
Yeah.
not. So yeah, no, we will. Yeah, that will be ordered as soon as we finish up stream. That is very, very kind, Berserker. Thank
Wow.
you so much. That is very, very nice. There's another Destiny creator who has whiskey stuff sent to him by viewers, so I don't know if you want to start doing that. He gets some nice variety. I mean, I will take whiskey stuff anytime. Bits are like 60 to 70% of the Yes. Versus subs, which are way less. Yeah, subs are basically half. Subs are half, and then bits, like I said, you are taking the, obviously, like I said, you were taking the the brunt of that. Like I said, if you like when bits go to a channel as opposed to a donation or something like that, obviously if Berserker was like, hey, I'm PayPaling you whatever, like it is what it is. Like I said, I trust someone like that. But with bits, the person that is buying the bits, they have to pay a little extra because when it goes to us, it's 100%. We get 100% of it. Twitch takes none of it because they've already taken something from Berserker because he bought the bits himself.
I see.
And then it's also guaranteed. There's a lot of stuff where people will, like, oh, I had chargebacks because people claim they were PayPaling me stuff and they did, and then they took it back because they said PayPal, someone stole my card, and then you lose all of it. So that's like always the danger of that stuff like that.
All right. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So yes, we do get that Berserker. That is way too kind. We will 100% order that since we were talking about it.
Yeah.
And we will make that happen. That is very nice. Thank you very much. That is very appreciated.
Cardboard Keith is flabbergasted.
Cardboard Keith is flabbergasted.
And, live living flesh Keith is also the same way. So
okay. You're all kinds of flabbergasted?
I'm flabbergasted. That's
yeah.
right.
That is
all incarnations are flabbergasted.
And a pink carnation?
A white sport coat? And all incarnations. Yes.
And all incarnations.
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, on that amazing note, let's go see who we're going to go say hi to. And then next week you had a wine that you did want to, what was you want to talk a little about the wine?
Unless this Pinot Noirs.
Unless it shows up. That's true.
Here.
It's possible.
Yeah, we've got a new a Gruner Veltliner from Austria. So I want to try
actually
that.
From Austria?
Yeah, because the one I've had before is that we carry at the store is from Hungary. That one's being discontinued, so we've got a new one. We've also got a new Riesling if we want to stay entirely wine. But at least that one I'd like to bring over. So
okay.
Yep.
We've got that. We definitely have another beer here hanging out. And if for some reason after I order this, if they do get it shipped out that quick, yeah, I will not be stopping having another Westward whiskey at some point.
Because these are the
nuts. Berserker, you should order one of these for yourself. Order these one of these for your lady. I think she would absolutely love them. Like since she is also a whiskey lover as well. Garden Down said Cardboard Keith would know what to
would know what to say.
Oh, I thought it said would.
Yeah, no, Cardboard Keith would just be present in the moment.
Okay, Google, how much does it cost to get a life-size custom cardboard person? I don't know. I bet you could have that printed for sure. Mill, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. We are wrapping things up, though. Anybody popping in and hanging out, appreciate it for you guys coming in. But yeah, so I think that's what we'll go with for next week, right?
We got some options. We got some.
We
things
do have some options
tossed into the hopper. Yep.
About 100 Bevmos around me. You can look. I don't, like I said, and they may have stuff. Like I said, again, I don't know how much this stuff makes it to stores or not. Like I said, their website is really good. And again, the free shipping is pretty nuts with how cheap that is too. Thanks for the stream. Enjoy the rest of that, but I will enjoy the rest of this bottle. 100%. I'll probably bring a little bit of this over so H&J can try this as well.
Oh, yeah, you should.
Hola, I'm new here. Okay, happy birthday, Paco. I don't think that's actually... I'll have to find out who actually set up that account. Great and excellent stream. Thank you guys, everyone, for being here. Appreciate it. But yeah, so we have some ideas for next week, and then like I said, if this winds up coming in, we will do that as well. So this that should be super fun. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. We're gonna go say hi to Mr. Krausader. Kraus is doing some Iron Banner in Destiny right now. I didn't see anybody else in the talk show directory that I knew, so we'll go say hi to him. He is super nice, always engaging. He might be playing with viewers as well. So if you want to go check that out and go say hi to him, I would appreciate that. Drop the follow. And yeah, we'll be back again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern, right?
That's the time.
That is the time that we claim. I do be lurking there. You should be lurking. Have you checked out the Edward Kenway rum? I will. I'll write that down,
everyone.
Bill. Good night.
Appreciate it. Good night.